Miguel walked between the tall buildings, the incessant noise of traffic that resounded like a constant background. He was used to the frenzy of the city, to the chaos that seemed to envelop him every day, but something inside him was changing. The feeling of impotence grew, along with the awareness that the world, as he knew it, was sliding towards an uncertain fate. The suffocating heat, the sudden storms, and the nature that seemed to rebel in silence made him reflect more and more. Want to know how Miguel will deal with this internal and external change? Keep listening, and you will find out more. Miguel was an environmental scientist, and for years, he had studied the dynamics of climate change, hoping to find solutions that could save the planet. He had attended conferences, written articles, urged governments, but nothing really seemed to make a difference. If you are interested in these topics, subscribe to our channel to stay updated on similar content. Big multinationals continued to exploit resources without any attention, and people, distracted by their hectic lives, seemed not to notice what was happening around them. Every day, Miguel discussed his ideas with Antonio, a longtime colleague. Antonio, an experienced engineer, firmly believed that technology would solve all the problems on the planet without any need to think about deeper issues. For him, building better infrastructure, implementing more powerful renewable energy, and engineering the surrounding environment would solve everything. What do you think? Can technology really solve everything by itself, or is something else needed? Let us know in the comments. Miguel didn't fully share this vision. Although he believed in science, he felt that something deeper was missing in the way the world was addressing the environmental crisis. Every time he talked with Antonio, he found himself thinking, what if the solution wasn't just technology? What if what we're missing is a more radical internal change? One day, while walking home, a small bookshop caught his attention. He didn't know why, but he felt the need to go inside. Among the dusty shelves, he discovered an old book that talked about Zen philosophy. Miguel had never been particularly attracted to spiritual practices, but something in that moment pushed him to pick up the book and take it with him. At home, after an exhausting day, he sat down in his favorite chair and began to read. The words flowed smoothly, speaking of balance, connection with nature, and awareness. It was a completely different way of thinking than what he was used to. Zen philosophy did not propose immediate or technological solutions, but suggested a deep reflection on how human beings relate to the world. It was as if the book was speaking directly to him, offering him a perspective he had never considered. Have you ever read a book that changed your perspective? Share the title in the comments. As the weeks passed, Miguel found himself more and more immersed in the book. He began to practice meditation, at first for just a few minutes a day, but he soon discovered that those moments of silence allowed him to see things more clearly. His worries about the future of the planet were not gone, but they now seemed less overwhelming. Somehow he began to understand that saving the Earth was not just about external actions, but also about internal change. Want to learn more about meditation and how it can help you in your daily life? Check out our recommended resources. Everything seemed clearer in his mind, but Antonio remained skeptical. I don't understand what you're trying to do, Antonio said during one of their weekly discussions. We can only save this planet with technology and innovation. We need practical solutions, not meditation and philosophy. Miguel didn't answer right away. He felt the weight of Antonio's words, but deep down, he knew there was more. He decided to take a break from work and go on a trip. He felt the need to reconnect with nature in a deeper way. He set off for the Amazon, where he had already done some research in the past, but this time his purpose was different. He didn't go there to collect data or monitor environmental changes, but to look for an answer within himself. Arriving in the forest was an overwhelming experience. The silence was broken only by the singing of birds and the rustling of leaves in the wind. The vastness of nature made him feel small, but at the same time part of something bigger. As he walked among the ancient trees, he felt the weight of his worries slowly melt away. Here, far from the technological world, he could finally breathe. Miguel spent days in solitude, meditating and reflecting on his life and his beliefs. The forest taught him without words, showed how everything was connected in perfect balance. Every tree, every insect, Every breath of wind had its role in a cycle that had continued for millennia. It was the same harmony that Zen philosophy tried to teach. It was not about controlling the world, but about finding your place in it, about recognizing your interconnectedness with everything around you. Nature teaches us so much. What was your most profound experience with nature? Tell us in the comments. One evening, as he watched the sunset reflect on the river, Miguel realized that the environmental crisis was not just a question of resources or climate change. It was a crisis of the human soul. People lived in a state of disconnection, separated from nature and from each other. They sought technological solutions to problems that arose from their own alienation. But the answer could not come only from the outside. It had to start from within, from a deeper awareness of what it means to be alive on this planet. Here is the truth. The environmental crisis is not only external, but also internal. Learn more about how we can address it together. Back in Lisbon, Miguel had changed. He still had the same passion for his work, but now his vision was different. He decided to found a movement, not only to raise awareness of environmental issues, but to help them rediscover their connection with the earth and with themselves. He wasn't just talking about solar panels or renewable energy, but about awareness, about living more simply and respectfully, about finding inner peace as a prerequisite for saving the outside world. If you feel lost in the chaos of the modern world, join us to find balance and connection. The movement's first meetings were small, with a few people gathering in a city park to meditate and discuss sustainability. But the idea soon spread, striking a chord with people who, like Miguel, felt lost in a world that was too chaotic and fast. They understood that to save the earth, they had to save themselves first. The movement grew, attracting the attention of the media and institutions. It wasn't just about environmental practices, but about a new way of living. Miguel continued his work as a scientist, but now he did it with a different spirit. He knew that technologies would play a role in solving the crisis, but the real revolution had to happen in the hearts of the people. Don't miss your chance to be part of this change. Sign up now to stay updated on how we can save the planet and ourselves together. One day, as Miguel watched the movement grow, Antonio approached him. "You know," he said, "maybe you were right. Technology alone can't save the planet. Maybe we also need this connection that you're teaching." Miguel smiled. He knew that the road was still long, but every step forward was a step towards a better world. What do you think? Do you also believe that the real revolution must start from the heart? Share your thoughts in the comments and join the change.